Hello, everyone. LJ Young for another edition of Debt Ain't My Daddy. How are you guys today? For those of you that do not know me, I am a 100% debt-free, now motivational speaker, personal finance educator. I was a computer engineer for the last 20 years of my life. I have a computer engineering degree. I was a virtualization engineer, blah, 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 all that good stuff, right? And I remember one day waking up feeling stuck in my job, career, whatever, because nobody really, and I'm gonna tell you the things that nobody really talks about. You think them, but you don't really say them out loud because you just don't know what to do about it. And I'm gonna tell you how that came about for me, so you can understand how to change that. Okay, especially if you're younger. If you're like in your 20s, early 30s, if you listen to what I'm saying, I will change your life forever. Unlike anybody that's ever told you how to become, rich, wealthy, whatever, you just hear all that stuff. You just hear it, but you don't know how to get there, right? You don't know if it's gonna, should you try it? Shouldn't try it? I'm gonna tell you with factual information. And guess what it's gonna be? Just fifth grade math. That's it. And it's gonna blow your mind. You're probably even gonna hear what I'm saying, but something in your brain is not going to let you believe it, even though the math is going to be correct. You're going to be looking at the calculator app on your phone. You're going to be like, I put those numbers in that calculator myself, but I still don't believe those numbers. Okay. It's going to be a trip. And what I'm telling you, that's going to be an indicator. So better yet, this is what I'm going to tell you. Okay. People that believe in credit and debt, they live in what's called the debt matrix. Everybody that believes they can't do anything without credit, that everybody has credit cards, car payments, it's just a way of life, they all live here. I used to live there. I used to believe all the same things, all of it. I couldn't see how the whole economy worked because I was trapped in that box. I'm outside that box. And what I'm going to do to show you, if you are trapped in that box, I bring out what's called the glitches in the debt matrix. Now, glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense or financial sense, but yet nobody ever questions it. You'll look and see that the math clearly doesn't make sense, but yet you still do it anyway. Okay, those are called glitches in the debt matrix. All right. Now, the title of this video is like, if you're in this job, right, and it could be a job you hate. It could be a job that you're just tired of. You're just tired of being in that field or career change, or a career that you've just been there all your life, but you don't know how to get out of that job because you're like, hey, I would love to go do something XYZ that I would just love to do, but it's not going to make me as much money as the job I'm in. So you can't go do that. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? And I'm going to tell you what it is and how to get out of it. All right. Now, what woke me up, I specifically remember sitting in my Lexus, financed, of course, okay? Just because I say Lexus, I don't want you to think I'm saying it to impress you. Anything I'm saying to you, it's not here to impress you. Those are feelings. Never mix feelings with money. Ever. Never mix your feelings with math and money are one. The only thing that can separate math and money are feelings. All right. And I always say this repeatedly so you can get an idea of what I mean. If I came to you and said, hey, how do you feel about 5 + 5 = 10? How do you feel about that? Does it make you happy and jump for joy? Does it make you sick? You're probably looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about, Linnell? Who cares how you feel about it? It's 10. Exactly. That's how you should always feel about your money. Anyway, I remember sitting in my car, thought I had everything according to what society believes: Lexus, nice apartment, clothes, job, 6-figure job, all that. But something was missing. And I couldn't put my finger on it. But then it came to me, I was like, and this is what I was thinking exactly in my car. What do I do? Just sit at my job, work till I'm 65, and then I enjoy my life? But in my mind, what I've been taught all my life is like, well, I have to be rich to do whatever it is I want to do. You just don't know what it is, right? Come to find out, I was trapping myself in my own life by all the stuff I was financing. Everything, finance car, finance apartment, credit cards up the yin yang, everything. I was keeping myself there. And this is all I had to do to get out of debt. It's crazy, okay? You guys ready? Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. That's what I had to do for myself. I saw that large negative number. Don't get me wrong. I saw that large negative number. I looked at the number and said, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? That's going to take me forever to pay that much debt off. And then I had to step back one more time and said, and I asked myself, is there another choice, Linnell? Is there another choice other than pay this debt off? I didn't have another choice. There is no other choice. There is no other choice. But I didn't know who to ask because everybody was in the same situation as me, financing everything in their life, believing. Now, this is why other people won't know. What I'm telling you, you can ask anybody you feel like it. They're going to look at you like you're crazy if you just tell them this simple equation. You know why they're not going to believe you? Because most people believe that they own everything they finance. They believe they own the car. They believe they're homeowners. They believe their credit card limits, they can buy anything. Even though math will clearly show that it's not any of theirs, they still don't believe it. That's why they won't believe what I'm telling you. Okay? That's why they're going to look at you like you're crazy, even if you come to them. Anyway, once I chose to believe this number, the first thing I did was sit on that negative number. Because once you know it, once you know the exact amount of money you owe, you can't forget it. You're not going to wake up the next day and say, damn, what was that negative number I added up for all my debt? I guarantee you that will not happen. That won't happen. You'll know the exact number of debt you're in, right? And then also, this is what I did. So I went and started. Now, these questions, people that live in the debt matrix, they won't understand why you're asking these questions, okay? Because they believe living in debt is normal, okay? So these are the questions I started asking people. I said, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? People would go, oh, it's around this, it's around that. I think it's this. Then they'll say things like, oh, you mean including my student loan? Like student loan is not debt. This is just what people, they call it forever loan. It's just the craziest thing. When you're out of the debt matrix, when I hear that now, I think, I can't believe I used to say things like that. Why would I think student loan debt is not debt? I don't know. That's the worst debt to have, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, I want you to go around and see how many people have taken the step. I wanted to see how many people have actually taken the step to know the exact amount of debt they're in. You know, I found nobody. As soon as I did that, I knew I was on to something. I was like, wait a minute. How come I'm the only one that knows how much debt I'm in? All right. And then I started coming up with a plan how to get out of debt. I just had to start paying it off. I reduced my life. People started talking about me. Oh, look at Linnell. He's broke. He sold his Lexus. He lived with his sisters. He lived in his sister's house in a room and all this other stuff. I had to ignore society. That's the next main thing. When you decide to do what I did, you're going to have to ignore everybody in the debt matrix because they're not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? So you got to ignore them. They're going to be going on vacations. They're going to be buying new cars every year, thinking they got awesome interest rates on a finance car, finance house, bragging about credit card limit. Ignore it all. They live here. They live in this box. And like I said, all you got to do is believe your own math. If you want to get out of this box, that's how easy it is. All you got to do is believe your own math. I'm sorry, I was about to cuss. The stuff they taught us in grade school. You remember the math and money games they played in grade school where you got gold stars and stuff and you used to race and they used to time it? That's all you need to know. That's what makes me mad. Let me get back on the task. I always reflect. Sorry, you guys. But if you learn this early, you can be a millionaire with a regular job, okay? A millionaire having a regular job. But anyway, so once I got out of that, I realized I was keeping myself stuck. in the job I had. Now, mind you, I was making six figures, but when I'm in a debt matrix, I was thinking six figures was a lot of money. You get out of the debt matrix, all you got to do is pay attention to what's really going on. You can't help but see it. You see millionaires, billionaires. Why did I think $100,000 was a lot of money? You know why I thought it was a lot of money? Because I was comparing it to everybody in the debt matrix. Once I got out of the debt matrix, I was like, oh, $100,000 is not a lot of money at all, especially when taxes get a hold of it. Okay. Anyway, so as soon as I paid my debt off, everything changed for me. Everything. The way I looked at my job, that I started noticing the things that my job was taking advantage of me. Now again, business. I'm not mad at my job. It's business. They're gonna get the most amount of work for the least amount of pay to a worker from a worker. That's just business. No different than when you shop around and get the cheapest price for an item that you're looking for. Maybe, hey, Amazon's got it cheaper. I'm not gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to Amazon. This is no different, but it's you. It's you they're using. Okay. So when they call you after hours, expect you to answer emails, all that stuff, that's you working for free, slave. Slaves work for free. Are you a slave? I hope not. Anyway, so once I realized I was trapping myself, oh man, everything changed. Everything. I started to realize how much of my life I was dedicating to my job. Now, the standard, now think about what I'm saying, okay? Listen close to the words I'm saying so you can understand what I mean. 40 hours a week is the standard. Says who? Who made that rule up that 40 hours a week is the standard? Who said that? Never once did I stop and think, wait a minute, who's made it up? Rich people, wealthy people. And most people work more than that. For what? Whatever. But once I got out of the debt matrix, oh, I was like, man, I don't want none of that overtime. Give it to somebody that needs it. Because think about it this way: if you're begging for overtime, you know what you're telling your job? I didn't know this. That you're in debt. You desperately need that money. Nobody wants to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Not really. And miss their kids' birthdays, holidays, work. They have no choice. People are like, unable to, what is that? Unable, oh, I don't know why my chat's not working. My chat is not working for some reason. I'm not sure why. But anyway, people miss holiday. Oh man, I'm getting that double time and a half pay, this and that. Who really wants to miss their kid's birthday, kids' games, Christmas time, holiday? You want to enjoy that time with your family. But instead, you're working. And the only thing you can justify, oh, I'm getting that double time and a half. You're not really getting that because you're going up in tax bracket. Each time you work more hours, you're going higher up in the tax bracket. The more they make. You remember you hear those statements? The more you make, the more they take. Never once did I stop to understand what that meant. I always heard it, but I never stopped to see what that meant. I never realized how much of my time was consumed by a job until I quit my job. Once I quit my job, everything changed. I was free to do whatever I want. Now, mind you, after I was 100% debt free, I was still working. You don't realize, this is what I never realized. I worked about a year and a half, one more year and a half after I was debt free. My money stacked in my account so fast, it made my head spin. At first, I was thinking, I thought I was missing paying bills and debts, but I didn't have no debts. So this, because I'm not paying payments, interest payments. I'm not paying none of that. None of that. It was crazy. Damn, I really wanted to have this chat working, but I don't know why it's not working. That's unfortunate because I'd like to interact with you guys, and it's not working. All right. Anyway, what had happened right when I quit my job and had the freedom That's when it started, when I started to realize what I really wanted to do. Things started to come to me because I was no longer stuck in survival mode. I was no longer thinking, man, what am I going to do if I quit my career? I'm never going to make, this is what I was thinking. I'm never going to make the amount of money I was making at my job. Why I was thinking that, I don't know. Maybe because I was there for so many years. You know, you're thinking you've invested a lot of years at a particular job, but if you stop and think, like right now, if you just stop and think, what else would I do? It's scary. It'll scare you. You know, you think you'll lose everything you have, you'll lose everything you work for. But if you're making payments, it's not yours. You just believe it's yours. That's the trick. That's the trick. Or you start to think, hey, people around me are gonna think I'm broke. You start worrying about the people around you, not realizing they're in the same situation as you. Oh, yeah, there's different levels, but everybody's still in the same debt matrix. They're just on different levels: poor, middle class, rich. I mean, you think it's rich, but they just make more money than you. You probably think it is, but it's not really. No, it's not. You know what, you guys? I'm gonna end this stream and I'm gonna start another one because this one I want to be able to chat with you guys, and it's saying I'm unable to chat. So I'm gonna stop this stream. Let me come back to this one, okay? I apologize, okay?